So everybody know Todd Chrisley got a pardon from Trump. And when he did his press conference, he exposed the jail system, y'all. He spoke on the inequalities of the black man who was in the same prison as him. He said he got to do things that he never seen black men in there do or have the chance to do. He said this shit is not fair. He seen it firsthand. He said these black men were denied access to certain things or certain programs. He said, and when it came to him, he wasn't. They allowed him to do it. He said, everybody know why, right? Because of his skin color. Y'all, listen to what he said.
Because so many people are told no. And being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were denied programming, denied access to certain things. I was not denied that, but we know why I wasn't denied.
And you really got people out here talking about that's not true. Everybody in prison get treated the same. No, they don't. He just told you.
This is a long shot because so many people are told no. And being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were denied programming. They were denied access to certain things. I was not denied that, but we know why I wasn't denied that. And so I think that is a much bigger picture that we all as a society as a whole need to look at, that we are one. And whether you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, at the end of the day, when you're in that hospital, you don't care if it's a Democrat treating you or a Republican. Now, some of you may, but I want whoever's going to be the best.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. All my returning subscribers, you guys, thank you so very much for the love and support. And of course, if you're seeing me for the very first time, my name is Sumi, and I hope you do consider subscribing on the channel for more reaction videos like these. So in today's episode, I came across this video from this white guy who was pardoned from prison, and later on he goes on a press conference and he spills out the truth on what exactly happens in prison, and most especially how black people are treated unfairly, discriminated, showing how white supremacy and how white privilege is all over. Even in prison, it is literally there. This is so sad and this is so unfair. Some of the reasons that has really sparked me to even come and react on this video is the fact that we usually don't get white people coming out and speaking the truth, coming out and talking exactly what happens in these prisons, how black people are always treated. But even if we talk about them, do you think anything will change? Do you really think anything will change? They don't care. They literally don't care how black people are treated. Either they are in prison or they are outside prison. They will still be discriminated. The black people in America, I don't know what they are going to do about this. Now, you guys, I don't want to go in too deep. Like, I don't want to be so emotional about this video. Let me know what you do think about this. Let me know. Because this is quite so sad and so unfair on how black people are treated in prisons.
Y'all heard what Todd said about black folks after being pardoned by Trump? Listen.
This is a long shot because so many people are told no. And being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were denied programming. They were denied access to certain things. I was not denied that, but we know why I wasn't denied that. And so I think that is a much bigger picture that we all as a society as a whole need to look at, that we are one. And whether you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, at the end of the day, when you're in that hospital, you don't care if it's a Democrat treating you or a Republican. Now, some of you may, but I want whoever's going to be the best.
This does not warrant an invite to the cookout. Because like my granny and them always said, you're not finna get rewarded for doing some shit you supposed to do. He supposed to acknowledge the inequalities in the system. Think about it. How many folks look like us you think locked up for the same exact thing he was, but they waiting on commissary and a release date? We only represent about 14% of the general population. Our community represents 38% of the federal prison population. They both got pardoned, and I hope that when they rubbing shoulders with them Trump supporters, they're able to keep in mind that no matter how much them folks engaged in color blindness, they seen the racial inequality for themselves. But maggots always love to ask, can you name anything that I can do as a white person that you can't do as a black person? Shit, ask Todd. I'm gonna start saying that from now on. Education is elevation.
Anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. They were.
Honey, look, he may steal, he may cheat, he may falsify documents, but he's not lying. He's not lying. Wait a minute, Mr. Chrisley. Not coming through with the truth because because you were there. So you saw it with your own two eyes. See, this is all I've been asking people to do is just acknowledge what you see. Quit looking around and pretending like you don't see what's right in front of your face. Own it. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with black males in the system being treated differently, get in that line. That's racism. But if you can acknowledge, if it's because I know all y'all MAGA love the Chrisleys. So if you can believe what he's saying, what do you think the reason is? Why do you think he was treated differently? Come on now, y'all. Okay, Todd, I'm gonna watch your show when it come back on TV. Okay. Look, yes. Although it doesn't take away from the unfair treatment, this is just one example. This is just one example that he's telling you what he witnessed. Even though it doesn't take away, it is refreshing to hear somebody speak the truth around here because the emperor has no clothes, but everybody's just standing around clapping and telling him how good his suit looks. But he naked. So thank you. Kudos for being honest. Although I do not agree with you being pardoned, I don't. Because that $36 million that was stolen, defrauded, that money could go a long way when you're talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. But at least you're going to tell the truth.
Yeah, so I fuck with Todd Chrisley. He kept it straight real after he got released. He said that African Americans are not treated equally in prisons, which we already knew that. He said that certain programs, African American men were being denied, and he didn't have the same issue. I respect him for being a white man that spoke out on the truth about racial inequality in everything, really. But I'm glad that he got up and spoke out using his platform for what it should be for, equality.
And I know Trump was not expecting Todd Chrisley to get up there and talk about the judicial system and how African Americans are not being treated fairly. Kudos to him. Round of applause, because that's what literally having a voice and having privilege, that's what people are literally supposed to do. And it's like, yes, it may not make a drastic change right now, but talking up matters. Using your platform, using the fact that you have privilege to highlight what the hell is going on. Like, he's only been out about 24 hours now, and he's making sure he's getting to what needs to be said, okay? He ain't sugarcoating, and I'm sure Mr. President did not expect him to come. I'm sure he's looking now like, how can I take that pardon back? Because that's not what you're supposed to be highlighting. He wants you to be highlighting the, you know what, his little slogan that he be saying. But no, he's getting up there and talking about how in the judicial system that African Americans are not getting the same privileges or not getting the same resources that are in the jail system, in the prisons, and that that's something that needs to be talked about. Because when African Americans come out and they say it, it's just like, boo-hoo, so what? And now someone else is getting up and using a platform to make sure what needs to be said is said.
Friend, pick up the phone. So they thought that Todd Chrisley was going to go to this press conference and basically say, you know what? Thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much for granting me the opportunity. Oh, great taco man. Oh, yes. Todd Chrisley said, look, I understand that I have privilege. He said, I understand that a lot of people get told no, but I got told yes. He said it was the same way when I was locked up with men that were a different shade of color than I was, get denied basic access to programs and things like that simply because they were black. He said, and I know why I was privileged. I understand that, but it's time America understands it as well. He's like, and the people in charge need to follow suit. I bet you Savannah was like, oh my goodness, we did not practice this, daddy. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
I'm sorry, but I think Todd liked being in jail. I don't think he's happy about getting out. No, for real, hear me out. Todd Chrisley is getting out of jail. Trump just pardoned him and his wife. He called Savannah and let Savannah know from the Oval Office that her daddy and her mama was getting out. I mean, let's be real. Savannah was riding hard with Trump the whole election just to get her parents out. I think, honestly, Savannah would have done anything, and I do mean anything, to get her mama and daddy out. I don't think Julie should have been in jail because I don't even think Julie handled the finances. Let's be real. I don't think Julie had anything to do with the finances. Todd Chrisley is way too goddamn A-type. He's A-type for real for anybody else to be handling anything. Now y'all know they just announced that they was getting a reality show, right? Todd and Julie was making plans for their ass to get out. They was gonna make sure they had money coming in. But Big Daddy Trump comes through again. I swear he's pardoning every white criminal he can. Wait, don't they do pardons at the end of their goddamn shift? Why are you doing pardons in the beginning? Shouldn't you be worrying about other shit? Like Iran, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Gaza, China, tariffs, hells, everything else but them.
So we all know Trump pardoned him, right? They got to talking about how he felt about the charges and if Todd would do anything different, than what happened before. He proceeds to say, in which I believe him because I read the case and I understand what happened, he said he wouldn't do anything different because he didn't do anything wrong. Yada, yada, yada. He goes into talking about how the Biden administration is at fault.
And can't no one tell me that was a part of the pardon deal. You have to blame Biden for everything, right? And I know Trump is pissed. And then he goes on to talk about how different he was treated in prison than the African-American males that he met in jail. Savannah Chrisley did what she had to do to get her family out of jail. And I'm just saying, she did a damn good job.